little bit difficult. I mean, I think one of the biggest classes that I benefited from was leadership. But I'm sure there are several, and I know there are several other classes that could have benefited me in the internship. So.
Because then you could say, okay, I learned this in class, but now this is happening practically. So how can I gain as much from my internship as possible to put this coursework into practice?
Yeah.
Plus, you could go in there. I know Cody; he's going to ERMAC next semester, and ERMAC does really, really substantive internships. Those interns have to know how to crunch numbers. So if you haven't had insurance, if you haven't had finance, if your Excel skills aren't honed through 361, is that 361 operations?
It is.
Yeah. You guys, you would flounder at ERMAC. You wouldn't be able to perform and do things like they want you to do. So the more classes you have under your belt, the better. That's why I love that the CALS advisors were pretty strict with you, saying, no, we want this to be your last semester or second to last. Are the rules hard and fast saying that you have to do that? No. Would we like that? Yes. Would that benefit you the most? Absolutely. Okay? Because then you have all of this coursework, you can apply it to this position, and it's going to make your internship so much more substantive. Plus, you don't go in there and make BYU-Idaho look dumb. You're just like, oh yeah, I think I learned about Medicare in 285. Right, I got to pull that out of the vault, right? CMS stands for what? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, okay, as far as credit limit, guys, I don't care if you're going to work 400 hours and you only sign up and pay for 1 credit. Go for it. Okay? What that means if you sign up for 1 credit, that means you only have to work 200 hours. But what I would like to see is you working there 40 hours a week, getting there early, staying late, putting everything you've got into your internship, okay? If you're not hurting for credits, if you're easily going to meet the 120 credits to graduate, you don't have to sign up for 3 credits. Just sign up and pay for 1. But work really, really hard at your internships, okay? Can you advance the slide? Okay, finding an internship. Okay, Dustin's realizing really quickly this isn't as easy as he thought it was going to be.
You could just not approve the one I want to do for the other girl, and then I could do one that she's.
Oh, is she here?
No, I think she's.
Is she an online student?
So just don't approve it.
No, first come, first serve, right? You guys, this is akin to finding a job. You can get this list that they're going to give you, and that's great. And everyone comes to me and they're like, Sister Watkins, I want a list. That's a great, springboard. But if someone was in that internship from BYU-Idaho or even another school and they didn't like that student, okay, they're probably not going to take on another intern, right? That happened with Mountain View. It wasn't a bad BYU-I student, it was other students. So it took them a really long time before they would have any interns again, okay? So, and there's nothing, if you're trying to go home, Austin, you're looking in so many different states trying to find an internship, okay? Because you've got family or transportation issues, right? It takes months to find the internship and to get the process completed, okay? Keep in mind, we will no longer be doing internships during the 7-week break. We just can't do it because I'm the one, it takes so many hours to facilitate it, and we can't get anything accomplished on campus because no one's around. It just makes it really, really hard. So last summer, Linda, you lucked out.
I did.
Yep, that's it. We're not doing it anymore, okay? We will approve a 7-week internship within a regular semester. Keep in mind, guys, your internships have to be completed within a full semester. It doesn't mean that you can sign up and start working in August. Well, you can if you want, but you can't count any of your hours until like September 14th when the semester starts. Because that's when you sign up and register for 498, okay? And 498 as a class is completed all on iLearn. Those of you that have done it, how hard is it?
Not super easy. Just report
Super easy. Everything's on iLearn. Everybody starts out with a big F on, and then as you gain hours in your internship, your grade gets better, right? And then you just wait for me to read your reports and plug those grades in, right? You get kind of frustrated with me. So anyway, you just, type up a report. This is what I'm doing. This is so awesome. This is how it applies to this class. Just stuff like that. You just want to know how you're doing. And if things aren't doing well, I have students that have been in long-term care facilities. They thought they were interested in long-term care. They went into the facility like, okay, this is not for me. I don't feel comfortable here. I don't like the smell. I'm not comfortable with residents. I don't like that there aren't boundaries. I don't like people touching me, things like that. If you don't like it, if your supervisor is not giving you substantive duties, if they promised you that you'd work on a big marketing campaign and you're really just getting lunch for people, tell me in that report so I can make a call to the preceptor, okay? Because they committed to providing you with the substantive internship, and I want to make sure that happens. So don't try to sugarcoat and make it sound like what you're doing is glamorous, because you know what, guys, I was an intern too. And they're not always glamorous, and what you're promised versus what you get sometimes don't always align. Questions? Awesome.
Is there a 7-week minimum, or could we do it in under 7 weeks?
No. And if Brother Tolman and I could change it, we would. We're like, the only reason we accept a 7-week is because public health started that for the Fit and Fall program. Can you really learn anything in 7 weeks at 15 hours a week? How well are you getting to know your preceptor? How well, if you're in an acute care hospital, are you really getting to know anyone in the C-suite in 15 hours a week? No, you just can't. If you go in there and you do a really good job, guys, it could turn into a full-time position. There's some that won't, okay? Like an IHC patient experience is probably not going to turn into a full-time position right there. However, the people that you got to network with, invaluable. You go to the University of Utah system, you get one of those coveted ones, every single internship has turned into a full-time position. Because they're rocking their internships. So it can happen. Okay? Questions? Christian?
Wait, was that like a...
Oh, no, I love your
Oh,
questions.
okay. Do we have criteria in regards to what we can count as an internship? I don't know if
Yeah.
this wasn't addressed here, but what, just so we know what...
Yeah, it has to be in a legitimate provider organization. I have students say they're working up at HR and they help with employee benefits, okay, namely health benefits. That's a really great experience, but it's not going to count as an internship because the requirements clearly state it has to be within a health services provider organization. So you get a really good job paying like $30 an hour with med device and you want to count that as your internship? It's not going to. But that's awesome experience because you're learning about medical device, that whole industry, and you're making contacts with some really cool docs. It's just not going to count as your internship. Okay? Julian?
Can I just go back to that statement you made about making sure not to make BYU-Idaho look bad? Because
Yeah.
at Intermountain, they almost didn't accept any more BYU-Idaho students because these students weren't aware of what they were getting into. And when they started working, they didn't want to do the work, and they asked to do other stuff, but they needed them for that specific internship. And so, thanks to Dane,
Dane Shaw saved it, didn't
Yeah,
he? He
he
got
did.
the award.
he did
What was the award? What's that called?
the excellence. It just
Yeah.
he represented this. He's the one that represented BYU-Idaho the best. So.
Yeah, he did say that they've also changed their process. It's become much more competitive because now they have an interview process, which I'm really, really glad. I'm grateful to Dane, I'm grateful to Julian, I'm grateful for all the people that have gone down there. You had a few last semester that worked with you that were really, really good. And that's a cool internship. I mean, what you guys are learning about HCAPS, invaluable as we move more towards pay for value. I mean, you guys understand what quality means for reimbursement. Okay. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. When they say don't email me, you can still email me, but no, I'm not. But when it's like basic questions that we've covered, okay, talk to each other. Really talk to each other. You'll get really good information. Okay?
Also, you can use the Healthcare Administration Facebook page.
Plug.
That would be fun.
Great
Yeah.
idea.
What's
Linda.
What isn't on there? There's so much.
Okay.
Always
Yeah.
answer questions.
Friend
if
me.
you have questions.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to Facebook.
Or do you have Facebook?
No, I don't have a Facebook.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Watkins. Can we give her a
Okay, yeah, this guy. I've got to go pick up my little boy from school,
We'll see.
so I gotta go. Hey. Oh, I cry every day. Yeah, but I'm proud of it. Thanks for asking. Hey guys, you're the best. You picked the best major. Don't you feel it?
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love you guys. Thanks. Okay, see ya.
So now we're gonna hear from a student that did his internship last summer, and he got a job offer from that company. So Christian Diaz.
So is there Brother Lawrence here? Is Joseph?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to look for you. I couldn't recognize you.
No
We'll have to meet up after the meeting. I'm gonna take this. Sister Watkins. So Casey asked me to talk about my internship and how I prepared, and I guess my experience.
Scoot
Oh, look at the camera.
that way. Scoot that way. Scoot that way.
Oh,
Yeah, you're great.
Sister Watkins. So I got an internship down in Odessa, Texas. Anybody from Texas? Other than familiar with Odessa, Midland? It's in West Texas. Anyway, I've never heard of it, but I got an internship working there, and before I went there, I hadn't heard of it either. So I have a brother-in-law that works for a medical group that's owned by the hospital. If you've taken Brother Tolman's class, you may have heard the term HOGS, Hospital-Owned Group. And I worked under their director, doing some various projects. As far as how I got the internship, I think we've kind of realized that that's the hardest part. You know, how do we land one? How do we get acquainted with some of these people that will help us do an internship? We've heard the term network. When we hear that, sometimes we roll our eyes, and it just kind of seems like a cliche, but I can't emphasize that enough. Talk with everybody that you can, get your name out there, become affiliated, rub shoulders with everybody that you can in the healthcare industry, and they'll kind of put you out there. I've done 3 internships, and so each internship has kind of helped sift out different career paths that I can take, and it's really kind of helped focus where I wanted to be. I know the requirements are a little bit different now. I think you could get away with doing an internship earlier when I was earlier in the program, but if you can do more than one, I would advise you to do more than one. Back to how I landed this internship, my brother-in-law is an optometrist with that group, and he just got me the email of their director. His name is Julian Besserell, and he's over about 130 different doctors in this medical group. So it's a good-sized medical group that's owned by a hospital. It's about 460 beds, I believe. Something that really helped, I think, was prior to emailing him and contacting him, I did some preparation. Mainly had a good resume, updated resume, good to go. If you've taken B220, that really helps with that. Otherwise, I think it's always a good idea to have an updated resume. You never know when you'll land an opportunity or meet somebody, and it's good to have that ready. Also, an elevator pitch. Have you guys heard that term? Just kind of tell me who you are in about 2 minutes or less. Have that ready to go. The reason is because I contacted Julian via email, and he gave me a call back. And without any heads up or anything, it turned into a phone interview in which he kind of asked me about myself, who I was, what experience I'd had, more about the major, things like that. And so it really helped that I was prepared. I was able to answer those questions promptly and accurately. The second thing is try to do some homework on these places that you're trying to get internships at. Like for example, what their values are, what their mission statement is, who they are, more about the facility, the services that they provide, how many beds they have, their structure. Because I think it helps kind of expedite some of the learning curve that you kind of encounter when you do an internship. You know, usually the first week or so you're learning those very same things, who they are, what their values are, what their mission statement is, what they do. And so it helps a lot to just kind of go into these interviews or these internships already having that done, and you just kind of hit the wheel or hit the ground running, if you will. So that's something that I did prior to speaking with Julian. During my internship, I helped with various projects. What Sister Watkins said about take as many classes as you can or being as prepared as you can is very true. This internship was just supposed to be an internship, but as I got there, it kind of turned into a job interview, kind of a working, active job interview, in which they were kind of able to assess who I was and what I was capable of and what I could and couldn't do. And so, I guess having said that, if you're looking for a job out of these internships,